This week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming is brought to you by the Online Warriors podcast. Take it away, Nerd Bomber.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to our friends here at the CAG podcast. I'm Nerd Bomber and I'm one of the co-hosts of the Online Warriors podcast, another podcast that you might be interested in checking out. Every Wednesday we have a brand new episode that covers the latest nerdy news in gaming, movies, and entertainment. We also go hands-on and talk about what we've each been up to in the world of gaming, movies, and books. Check us out at www.onlinewarriorspodcast.com. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and pretty much any platform you can think of.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 59 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week, as always, are my co-hosts, Chocolate Bear.
Hiya.
Moose.
Hey guys.
And joining us in our rotating fourth chair for the very first time, community member, Super Catrix.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on, Kate?
Not much really, to be honest, but I'm here.
You did it. We tried to get you on the show last week. We had some issues, but we can hear you, and that's all we're really looking for. We got
God
it.
for that.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so up first, this is our Patreon episode, so let's get that out of the way. If you'd like to get in on these drawings, you can head on over to CAG Podcast, or patreon.com/CAG Podcast. You'll get there that way. All right, so this is for $25 or $25 to whatever you choose. Got all the names in the hopper, so I'm just going to randomize it quick, and our winner is... Go figure. Chestar.
That doesn't look like a
What's the
fix or
chances
anything.
of that, eh?
I could give you the exact odds, but not super great, so
Congrats, Chestar.
congratulations. And Kate, hopefully maybe congratulations to you. Maybe he'll buy you something nice.
Yes, I hope so as well.
So congrats, Chestar.
Congrats.
Up next, we had our community play this past weekend, and this is a weird one because the three hosts were definitely not there. I was out of town. It was in the U.S. We just had 4th of July.
Yeah, I
it
had
was on-
kids, so I took them to paint pottery and didn't make it back in time.
Well, that sounds terrible.
It wasn't so bad. It was peaceful. It was quiet in there other than my children shouting everything they said.
I was going to say, it sounds amazing.
It is. Basically, you paint the things that they've already, you pick something off the shelf and you paint it with glaze and then come back, I don't know when it's going to take, because she says that she doesn't fire anything until she gets enough to fill up her oven. So I'm not sure how long that takes, but supposedly I will have a nice glazed little gremlin dude that I painted while I was watching my kids.
That actually doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
There's worse things you can do. Chocolate knows all about those.
I
seen
try
them
to find
too.
things that engage myself as well as my children so that, we're both not bored to tears.
Makes sense. And I was out of town at a wedding. Chocolate, you were...
I was down at the seaside in Devon, or Cornwall. Cornwall.
How many
Very-
beaches do you go to?
Too many.
He's on an island, isn't he?
That's true.
They're all around us.
They're everywhere. But the one person on this podcast right now that did make it to the community play was actually Kate. So, Kate, how was that? You guys played some Gears of War 4? Did you play any specific modes or anything?
We did Horde mode. We did do a bit of multiplayer at the start because I've not actually played through on Gears 4, but it was actually quite fun doing the Horde mode as well. So.
Horde mode that's up to 4 players, right? Or were you guys playing with 4, or was there more?
I want to think there was 5 of you, I got told.
Yeah, there's 5, and then we actually managed to get to level 50, so it was really good.
Isn't that like completing
end,
a round?
right,
That's like the
yeah.
end, right?
Yeah.
That's end game.
That's how long did that take?
Oh, I'm not 100%. It could have been an hour. I'm not 100%.
Okay, so I'm wondering, because I've heard horror stories about getting to level 50, but that might be on, like, the hardest modes where it's taking people, like, hours upon hours to get to level 50.
And I think Scottman's like a level 1,000,007 engineer. So I heard he was just putting turrets down everywhere, and they were just nuking everybody. So.
Isn't 10,000 Fists is big into that as well, and he was there, so that probably helped as well.
It does help having, as long as your team's coordinated and you're quick enough for the kills, you can blow by levels quite quickly. It's I think it's every 10 levels you get a main boss, or potentially 2 main bosses to get thrown in the mix.
Because I think if you do it really quickly, so like if you kill the boss quickly, then another one shows up. So
that's awesome. I've still yet to play the actual horde mode in that, but I've heard it's like the best, so that's kind of weird.
I could have sworn you played it with us one night.
Was that not multiplayer? Or did we? Oh, we might have played some horde mode after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my wife was needing me to do things, and I was like, I can't quit now. We're committed.
We're
like level 35 or something.
All right, so maybe I have played it. It was so good that I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But shout out to Sweeney, Scottman, Super Kate, obviously, Chaotic, and 10,000 Fists for showing up to that. If you'd like to know when the community plays are, if you'd like to know what we're playing, all that kind of stuff, join us on Discord. We also tweet the stuff out, but in Discord you can have more of a say in what we're playing. There's votes and stuff. And actually new as of this month, I'm assuming we're putting it in this month, if you are our Discord leader for the month, you get to choose one of the 2 community play games for that month. And Kate, that was actually you as well.
No pressure, guys. So.
Yeah, just don't pick a game that everyone's going to hate. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm going to really need to take a think about that. So
you better consider Ryan's feelings for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I was warned about that. So yeah.
No matter what you pick, it's like my kids. I can serve them their favorite meal, and they'll still complain about it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that one.
You earned it. You get to choose what you want.
That's right. We'll play My Little Pony, whatever, if you want to.
Nope, I'm going to be out
of
town again.
Yeah, I'll be gone the next 2 weeks, so have fun, guys.
Oh, man. All right, I think that's it for the stuff I wanted to get to before we talk about what we've been playing. Another week in gaming. What have we all been playing? Chocolate, I'm going to start with you because you're playing some game I've never heard of, and that game is Mechtermination Force. What a name.
It's a fantastic name. Moose is going to hate me. I've given
more than I already do.
Potentially.
Okay.
I've given the creator of Gunman Clive some more money.
Oh
boy, is this
don't
Gunman
encourage
Clive 3?
bad behavior. Come on, Chocolate.
The game is. Listen, the game's good.
Is it?
Gunman Clive was game of the year for last year. Yeah, it is.
They got all the bad out with Gunman Clive 1 and 2.
They did. The best part of this game is you can actually be Gunman Clive in the game.
Of course Jesus. You can.
It's fantastic, and of course that is my character.
Of course.
And essentially, you'll love the game. The whole idea of this game is fantastic. All it is boss level upon boss level upon boss level. So there's no, kind of going up through the levels to fight your boss. You are thrown in against a big mech boss, and there's a few different types. There is the typical robotic cyborg type boss. At the moment, I think I'm at the centipede boss, which is a royal pain in the backside. Just the game is. It looks good. It's cheesy. I knew you'd hate me for giving this guy some more of my hard-earned money.
Hey, it's your money, bud.
Yeah, well, technically it's my wife's, but I won't tell her. Yeah, it's great. It's like I said, it's just a boss level upon boss level with a nice little bit of kind of running round your open space, like in Destiny, just to quickly get your gun more powerful to take on the boss. So It
Did
is
you-
good fun.
Did you end up finishing Gunman Clive 2?
No,
Because
I've put
the final
that down.
boss fight of that game is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and
Oh,
spoil
really?
it for you because you've had plenty of time. So basically,
Oh, thanks.
the duck or whatever you're chasing gets into this giant robot, and you've got to basically like break it down as you platform up the robot as well. So you got to like shoot his legs out, and then something falls off his leg that you can jump up, and then traverse your way up the robot, and then finally you take out the heart or the head. I can't remember, and then credits roll.
So that's the same type of thing with this boss level. So every time you're shooting the boss, something happens where you can jump up. The first boss, I think he kind of goes to punch you, and his arm extends, kind of
Right.
like Inspector Gadget. So his arm comes out, you run up his arm,
I
and that's
gotcha.
where you get to hit his weak point on his head. So he's obviously taken inspiration from Gunman Clive
Yeah.
and that final boss to into this game.
That was the best part of that game, I guess, was, there was maybe 3 or 4 boss fights in the whole game, but they were somewhat challenging and entertaining, so
So
I guess if you
essentially,
get all of that, it could be good.
I was gonna say, so you just took the best part of Gunman Clive 2, and then it sounds like now he's just making you repeat it over and over and over.
Yeah,
Right.
I think essentially that's it. It was quite amusing the way I follow the guy on Twitter, and people were saying, "Why on earth did you name this game?"
Mech.
I can't even pronounce it.
Extermination Force.
Yeah, and he said it's really hard to name a game with mech and make it sound good, bearing in mind every game that you've probably ever heard of has mech in it. So the good names were all taken.
Why didn't he just name it Mech Assault random 4-digit number behind it? Isn't that what the rest of them do?
Close enough.
Yeah, I shall ask him.
So what is this like a what's the actual like gameplay perspective, I guess? Is this like a third person game? I'm like over a mech's
It's,
shoulder or
Best way I can describe it, Super Mario.
Yeah,
So
2D
it's that-
platformer.
Yeah.
Contra type.
that's not
Yeah,
what I had in my head at all.
It
So.
looks like
Contra is-
Contra.
Contra is probably the best way of describing it, and it's got the same type of feel as you're playing it. You hold the... I'm trying to think now. Hold the X... Is it the X button? Whatever the... It's X on the Xbox, so it'd be the
Be the
Y
Y
button.
button. Yeah. Yeah, so you're constantly shooting, and then you're using the B button to jump. It is a good fun. If you want that constant fighting, boss level, boss level, this is the game.
All right. How much was it? Out of curiosity.
I think it was $15 or $12.
Too much.
Yeah, about $15 or $12.
Well, it'll be on sale every
Yeah.
week for the next 14 years, pretty soon here. So
At
grab
some
it
point,
for
it'll be on
$5.
sale for 90% off, like most of the games that don't sell well. So I'll pick it up when it's $1 or so.
Sounds good to
I'll
me.
let you
I
know.
saw-
Don't worry.
It's real funny because I saw, I think it was this past week, or even maybe currently, that the Gunman Clive collection or whatever was on sale, and I was like, do I have to buy this just so I can have an opinion on this game? Because all I have is Moose saying he's hating it and Chocolate claiming it's game of the year. I got to figure out what the truth is here.
Yeah,
The only reason
I'm
I
the
hate
same
it
with
is
that
because he
one.
loves it so much. So,
Kate, I think we should just do it.
Yeah.
what you
I've
guys
bought-
should
I've not
spend your
played my
money
Switch
on
for ages,
is
so-
9 parchments. So,
I already did that, Moose.
yeah, you just don't play it with me.
We tried one night and then played Fortnite, so we came close. All right. Up next, Kate, playing some Division 2. How's your back feeling? Because I hear a majority of your time spent in Division 2 is really just carrying Chocolate around.
Yeah.
So, how's that
Sometimes it's sore, but yeah, I'm still like World Tier 2 at the moment. I need a bit of a hand with a stronghold, so if anybody's about this week, that would be great.
When do you want to play?
When are
She
you
said
ready
she
for it?
needed help, Chocolate.
Yeah, I'm a bullet sponge.
Yeah, and then runs about with his cowboy hat.
runs around with his what hat?
His cowboy hat.
Oh, his
Cowboy
cowboy hat. Of course he does.
I'm dressed like a cowboy. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm a Texan when I play that game, and I'm all patriotic, cowboy hat. I've got
Yeehaw.
Old Glory on my gun. Good to go.
And then there's a medic most of the time as well. So But yeah, I still really enjoyed Division 2, so I'm cracking on with that just now.
That's awesome. Think you'll ever try to do the raids?
Maybe one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's where everybody's at.
They're supposed to be dropping a story mode raid so that everybody can get through it. It's something I read.
Like, just if you want the story content, maybe
Right.
it's a little easier.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. It's not a
You don't
super
get
hard
the sweet
challenge.
rewards, but
Yeah.
right.
But
Cool.
it's a easy mode or a story mode type challenge.
It's a good
Yeah,
way
like-
to do it.
Right, so
Eight-man
then you can
team.
still experience the level without, taking 5 or 6 or 27 hours or whatever they say it takes to do it.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'd rather do it like the way I'm doing with Destiny, The light level suggestions are like 300 and I'm at 700 now, so I think I'm ready to raid.
That's you're just waiting until you're double whatever
Yeah,
the
you just
level
just
is.
melt guys, and then the only thing you got to figure out is the puzzles.
Yeah, that was really funny. It was probably a couple weeks ago. I was going through all of the Destiny 2 raids that have been out because I've only done one of them. So I was
Right.
like, well, how much stuff has come out since I did that? And the estimated light level for the first 3, I think I'm close to double what it is at this point. And I was like, and I still haven't done these. I should just go back, blow through them since they. Although I don't know, the communication is usually the hardest part of a lot of those raids, but. Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. Just slowly wait 6 months to a year with every game, and then just wait till you can God mode everything.
Right. And
I
then you
guess-
also got to find 5 other friends to do it with, too. So that's kind of my hole right now.
Or 7 more if you're trying to do the Division 1.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
How are we supposed to do that ever?
I guess Reddit.
Yeah, I think we could. In a couple years, we'll be able to do the first Division 2 raid with everybody. It'll be fun.
When Division 5's out.
Yeah, exactly. Go back and do retro raids. It'll be.
Yeah, I think Scottman's trying to figure out a time to take me through the Leviathan, because I beat the hardest one, which is the Gauntlet, where you have to communicate and shoot the different shapes and open up the portals for the guys to jump through, and the timer's running out. And it took us, I did it with X1 Bros, and it took, not the X1 Bros, but their clan, and it took us probably, I don't know, an hour and a half or 2 hours to get it done, and this was with probably more than half of the crew was experienced doing it.
And did you say that was for the Leviathan raid?
Yeah, that was just the gauntlet layer, or the where you have to jump through the guys running around the
just
ring
that
on
one
the
part.
outside. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
the only one that I participated in, and I don't have time to spend 2 or 3 hours on each segment, and then
No, right. Most people don't.
Yeah.
So
I don't have 6 hours to set aside. Unfortunately, my kids are needy and need stuff, so
damn
damn it.
dad life.
it's the best.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down, Scottman. If you're listening, I'd get in on that if I ever get power back to my office and my Xbox. And
Yeah, I think we might be shooting for the last weekend of July, possibly.
all right, see what I can do. I'm definitely I beat that, so I know I'm light level appropriate for that raid at least. So.
Right. When I know I can take guys down because I use it as a farming source for other quests.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. Well, Destiny 2 is on your list, Moose, of things to talk about this week. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No,
Yes.
I still
Yeah.
don't really understand what I'm doing. I just I just go to my my whatever, it's like your journal or whatever, and I pick a quest and I just do whatever it says, and if I can't figure it out, I look it up on Google and follow it until it's complete, and then I go to the next one. I have like 2 or 3 pages of quests to do, so
And
I
you just
felt
have
like
no
I've-
idea if you're making
Yeah.
progress
like,
overall.
there's this one I chased down a wormhole. It's like to get a legend or a exotic. It's supposed to be like an exotic sniper rifle called, I believe, like the Whisper or something.
Okay.
And I got to this point where you have to activate a group event and then completely ignore that group event and go find this boss and kill him. And then it opens up a portal that you have to run and jump through. And then you have a 20-minute timer to get through a maze and kill like 5 or 6 waves of enemies, I believe, to get this thing. And I made it to where the timer starts, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have somebody take me through this because I don't have time to figure out this maze. Plus, doing all this stuff solo is not the easiest. So it's fun, but I'm getting to a point where I'm going to need some help on most of these quests. So shout out for anybody that wants to help.
I will say that kind of what you just alluded to, that one like quest line where you have to go do whatever. I remember the first one came out where someone just happened to walk down like the wrong corridor
exactly.
in a strike.
This is
and
the
it was
quote
a
unquote
whole exotic line.
Yeah,
like,
this is a hidden quest is what it was. It's like the hidden quest or something like that.
I remember that was so like mind blowing when the first one dropped. And people were
Accidentally
like, "Oh my
did it.
god, what is this? How did we get in here? There's actually bad guys. Like this has to be something." And then when people completed it, you kind of lose some of the mystery. So going to Reddit kind of ruins that stuff. But it's also stuff that myself and probably you included, we'd never be able to figure out on our own.
Never ever.
So okay,
That's way too deep for me. But I also I just started doing the weekly stuff, trying to get my light level up and get new weapons and things. And I played literally 5 Crucible matches and got dropped 2 exotic weapons. Is that a thing now, or because that
I'm
seemed
hoping
like,
that's just luck.
yeah, because it was pretty awesome. I got a scout rifle and a linear pulse rifle. They do work.
That's some broken RNG if you played 5 matches and got 2 exotics.
Right.
So,
Either that
I'd say
or
it
I
was just your
completed,
day.
or I might have completed some sort of quest lines or something. I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Sounds
But
like
it's
you got
fun.
some decent loot though.
Oh, yeah.
Usable loot. I hate it when they drop like a sniper rifle. You're like, don't play sniper rifle. I don't want it.
But I believe they let you infuse different types of weapons now into other types of weapons. So, like, if you have a bow that you really like using, you can use the scout rifle and infuse that as long as you have all the elements required. So, before they used to just let you infuse same types. So, if you had a pulse rifle, you could infuse a higher level pulse rifle. Now, it's all about, like, inventory management, and you have to have so many items of this, so many shards, so many glimmer, so many, legendary shards. So if you have all of the requirements, you can infuse whatever weapons you get into what you like to use.
right. I think that's some of the best stuff they've done. With,
Right.
As far as leveling up goes.
Other than the masterwork stuff, I don't understand it, so I don't like it.
Yep, I don't even remember what that. I feel like the masterwork stuff was kind of like you could re-roll certain perks, maybe or something.
Right.
I don't even want to try to talk about it because I'm 100% going to be wrong. So never mind.
I'm just working on a thing called the Forge now, which I think was like season 4, season 5. It was after Forsaken, and basically you open up these events that are 3-player events. And you have a timer, and you've got to kill enemies, collect whatever they drop, and throw them at your forge. And once you've completed everything, you can forge one of these weapons. And so I'm working on forging my first sniper rifle, and I unlocked the second forge. And basically, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm not going to be able to do a good job explaining it. So
Perfect. Forge sounds like a lot of fun.
it is, yeah. It's kill these guys, shoot them in the face, do it 500 times, and then we'll give you a gun or something like that.
Can't wait to be there someday.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, probably not. All right, you good with Destiny 2?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, game I will talk about quickly is a game called Kamiko. It's on the Nintendo Switch. I bought it this week because I think it was on sale for like $1.99. It was actually last week. I looked to see if I could tell everyone it was only $2 this episode, but I can't, so I'm sorry for even saying it. But keep your eyes out because it's a decent little game. So Kamiko is a 8-bit hack and slash game. It reminds me of an arcade game because the thing here that you're like, there's no big overarching story. There's no RPG elements like upgrades, that kind of stuff. It's super basic. And the one thing you're trying to do, it seems like, because it keeps a timer of how fast you're getting through things, it seems like the perfect kind of arcade game where you're getting through a game and then getting a time at the end of it, and then you can share and compare with friends, I guess, and you can take turns doing that. When you first hop into the game, you do have 3 characters you can choose from. You have a swordsman. It's a woman. Swordswoman. Would you call it a swordswoman? Yes. A swordswoman.
Sounds right. Ish, kind of.
An archer, and then a shield maiden. The shield lady, she will throw the shield kind of like a boomerang, so if it takes out enemies on the screen, it'll come back to you. So if you throw it and then you move forward, it'll kind of like arc and come back to you. The archer, that's pretty self-explanatory, so is the swordswoman. She just has a sword. And then they all have like specials that you can get if you have enough SP saved up. SP you get from just killing enemies, and that's also... It's a source for your special, so you can activate it and use it, but it also is used to open chests, open doors, that kind of thing. So you constantly need to be killing enemies. And then while you're doing that, there's also a combo counter that is slowly going up if you're killing enemies, and then there's a little timer on it. So if you keep killing enemies, you're becoming more powerful, you're getting a little faster, and you can keep moving. And every part of the map that you go to, enemies are going to respawn unless you leave some of them alive. So if you leave an area, come back to an area, there will be new enemies, so that you can try to keep that combo meter going.
So is this like a Zelda type top-down slasher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That, I'd say that's very accurate. That's exactly what we're looking at here. And then, so there's 4 big levels that you need to go through, and to get through each level, there's 4 shrines you have to activate. So you have to do puzzles throughout the world to activate the 4 shrines, and then once you do that, there's a final boss battle on each one of these 4 levels, I guess. And once you do that, you've beat the game. So
only 4 levels, you say?
What?
Only 4 levels, you say?
Yeah, sounds great, huh? Well, let's also keep in mind that it's $5 at its base price, and I got it for like $2. And the first level, so like I said, they do give you a timer. So the first level took me 25 minutes to get through, and that was just getting through it with the swordswoman. So
You just
there's
call her
other
a knight?
characters- a knight. The swords. The knight. Yep, the sword lady. No, the knight. Yep. So,
I don't know why gender has to be involved, Risky.
well, because it's a swordsman, I figured there was a swordswoman.
Swords person?
A swords? Well, no, it's not. It's all right. The knight. So, so that's just me playing as the knight. But you can also go back and play with the archer, the shield person.
Oh, wow.
She sounds like Captain America. With
Right.
this,
I was going to
shield.
go with Wonder Woman, but
Yeah, right. At least Kate got the gender right. Good work, Kate.
Yeah, but you're saying about the shield coming back.
yeah, that happens in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just
as
like
well.
Wonder Woman.
Okay, I haven't
Chocolate
seen
just-
Wonder Woman in a while. Yeah, I'm going to go back to sleep.
So yeah, like I said, the first level, because it's timed, it told me it took me 26 minutes to get all the way through it, but that was my very first playthrough, so I'm assuming if I went through it again, you could obviously cut down on that time, and that's something that you can do just to add that little bit of replayability, is try to cut down those times. When I was playing this, though, I thought this would be a really, like, it's set up for speedrunning, and of course, I think it was this past year at, what's the speedrunning thing called? Awesome
They just
Game.
did it, right?
Yeah, it just happened. Awesome Games Done Quick?
Yeah, something like that.
that
Game's
sounds
done
right.
quick, game's done fast.
Yeah,
Speedy
so
Speedsons.
No.
this... good try. So this guy started it up, and he got through the first level, including the boss, in 2.5 minutes. It took me
Jeez.
26 minutes.
Yeah, I saw.
And,
That's awesome.
once I started actually watching this video, I couldn't stop, so I had to sit all the way through it. The dude beat the entire game in 23 minutes. So the time
Quicker
it took
than
me
your
to beat
first level.
yes, the time it took me to beat 1 was longer than it took this dude to beat the whole level. That was with, like, he was skipping cutscenes some way that apparently is weird, and he would, like, kill himself because it would bring back, like, I don't know, there's a bunch of weird ways to, like, kind of mess with things, but not in, like, a a cheater kind of way, just little exploits or something. But so he breezed through that whole entire game in 23 minutes, and I was like, well, why did that just take me 26? But even if it takes me like a half hour per level, and that's just with one character, and I have the option to go through as a different character, and work towards cutting down those times overall, like it's a fun little game, like I said, and it's cheap. I buy all these cheap little Switch games, so I have something different to throw at you each week.
Would you play through it multiple times then? Like, not just with each character, but like
Just
one
trying to get
character
your
only?
times down.
Yeah.
Me personally, no. So maybe a little less replayability for me. I'd like to see what the other characters play like, though, so I might do a little bit. And like I said, once you get the level down, the only thing that's randomly generated is the enemy placement, like where they pop up. But it was really cool to watch this dude speedrun it. And there's one kind of weird mechanic, the last thing I'll talk about, is when you might need to pick up an item, like a key for a door or like an orb that you have to set on a pedestal, that kind of thing. When you have that, your speed is significantly slowed, and if you get hit by an enemy, you drop the item and it goes back to where it came from. Right, which sounds bad, but if you're looking at this game from like a speedrunner's perspective, or I don't know what you should be, like an arcadey game like this, it's kind of awesome, like the tension that adds, or I can imagine it would add when you're like, okay, now I need to carry this item to the door. If I get a bad spawn with enemies and I can't get through them, that pretty much ruins my whole run. But yeah, if you want a little hack and slash game, it's super fun for that. It feels really good when you're playing it. Like the sword combat feels fine, feels hack and slashy. So
those speedrunners are crazy. I think Ladonian posted something in our Discord that what was it? They did Borderlands 2 in like 2.5 hours.
What?
Yeah, they did all of Borderlands 2 in 2.5 hours. And then I saw an article that they raised over $3 million this year during their stream.
That's awesome.
I think it's like 48 hours straight or something. They just try to see as many big games as they can beat. Or I want to say it's like a 2 or 3 day long event. And
I think that goes to Doctors Without Borders and a cancer center or something, a cancer research. Like those are their two big charities. And that's awesome what they do.
And it ends with like one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and his goal was $1 million, and I think he raised like 900,000 by himself. So he was just under his goal. But yeah, so they basically, like, he's the headliner if he was a comedian. He's the last guy to come on because nobody can follow that.
So cool. All right, can move on from that. That is Kamiko, though. Chocolate, the Apex legend. Are we talking about Apex again because we didn't talk about Division 2 for you this week? What's going on in Apex?
Not a lot. Season 2. I've got to jump in and get my hand in Season 2. So, yeah, Season 2 is tough. Very tough. So
there's animals now?
Yeah, there's like the Leviathan. I don't know what they've thrown in.
Pterodactyls with crates that if you shoot them down, you get the crates.
Yeah, so they're supposedly the dragons. So I managed to shoot one of them and get a crate, and it was some okay loot. I'd say mid-tier loot. You've also got, like I said, the Leviathans, which to me are just big, huge elephants.
Are those the like AT-ATs that don't have any armor on? Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
They look like the just Star Wars AT-ATs, but like
those things that were like out in the
ocean.
Distance,
out
in the ocean.
They're home now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes. So
can I climb up them?
No, but you can. Oh. So supposedly there is loot boxes underneath their feet, which you can.
That's a dangerous game to play.
Yes. So there is a trick to it. I believe they do. That you hear something or there's a trigger and you've got about 6 seconds to loot and run without being squashed. So, do that at your peril.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do well at that as many times as I drowned trying to get the crate underwater and black out.
Sounds so much worse.
I know.
I'd never do it. But so I've been doing it just to see what the season pass now is like. And I was hoping that they would jig it so the character you played, you'd be able to, always use that skin. But it still seems that they've locked the skin. So each level for instance, level 1 is Gibraltar's that skin. You know, level 2 is Lifeline skill, Bangalore, etc., etc. So I'm a bit, I don't know, kind of meh by it.
Did you
I'm
buy
gonna
the
give
battle
it a good
pass yet?
old session. I did, yeah. I had some Apex coins saved up.
Oh, that's good that you can buy it. Kind of
Right.
like Fortnite, where if
Yeah.
you have enough,
Yeah.
you can save it up. You can still get the next battle pass or whatever. That's cool.
Yes, so that's a nice little touch. So I'm going to give it a good playthrough tomorrow. I'll probably stream that as well on Tuesday. So when this podcast drops in the evening, I'll be on Apex. Just testing it out. There's so many things they've done which they've kind of changed the map ever so slightly by destroying certain parts of the area. So I can't think of the names, but there'll be your normal houses that you're used to going into in the swamp, but they've gone. They've just been destroyed by the Leviathan. There's kind of a new, like in Mass Effect Andromeda, you know, where they put up the base of operations type thing. There's a few of those kind of space station-esque rooms to go through.
Go up to like kind of like the ships.
Yeah, not necessarily like the ships, but as the ships would have landed, you know, they create like the new homeworld, so they'll have their new futuristic type building. So there's a few of those dotted around. So that brings, you know, kind of a slightly new element of, I've never been in this room before, what's it like? And yeah, I've heard that they're not going to be releasing as much content or as frequently as Fortnite do. However, I think with every season pass, which it looks like they're doing every 3 months,
Right, every
a little
quarter.
bit like Fortnite, yeah, a little bit like Fortnite, there's going to be slight tweaks to the map, it seems.
Nice. I like that. That's exactly what Blackout does as well.
Yeah, and I suppose running the risk of trying to copy Fortnite and failing miserably, they're not doing it. They've set a kind of, they should have been honest or upfront at the beginning and said, right, this is how we're setting our stall out. It will slightly change every so many times. The workload is quite a lot, so we don't want to burn our teams out and burn you guys out by changing it every week or day. So yeah, like I said, I'm impressed with the way it looks. The skins I'm not overly impressed with so far, but I suppose it's time to grind and see how I get on.
Yeah.
It's not a game that I've actually played, so yeah.
Give it.
So
It's
if you-
free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, free.
Give it a shot, Kate.
I think I will.
I mean, you used to play COD, you said, didn't you, Kate?
Yeah, I
used to
played
play
quite a
Call of
bit of
Duty.
COD, yeah.
So it is a very, once you get into a kind of a gun battle, it is that twitchy type of, you know, look down your scopes, shoot. But I suppose with any battle royale, it is that kind of sense and knowing your surroundings and when is the opportune time to strike. That's what that whole game is all about. The way I feel, anyway.
Yeah.
But,
I need to
hoping
play
get
it
some
more.
wins.
Do you though, Moose?
Yeah, I like it. I know you guys don't, but I need to find some people that do, maybe.
Probably, especially since we don't really play Blackout anymore.
I
Anyways,
know, it's just pirates or, you know, the other saying.
Pirates just needs a battle royale, and I'll just never leave.
Oh, boy.
Well, they do, don't
Well,
they?
that
Have you not-
arena
is it-
mode is, they're actually making changes to that, too. Did you see that?
I saw they were testing out sloops and
Yep.
brigs,
Yep.
which is cool. But I haven't played in a while, so
Me either.
I'll be back. And when I do, so will you.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
All right, what else do we got? All right, Moose, so you're going to be gone the next 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so did you want to give us, because our Game Pass Roulette Game Roulette is not this week, that is actually next week, but you're not going to be here, so did you want to give some of you've played some of it at least, so did you want to give us your initial impressions on Ori and the Blind Forest?
Absolutely. I played, I'd say, I don't know, probably 3 hours of it maybe, and I think this game's right up my alley. It's a platformer. It looks great. Other than the voiceovers, it's the classic Nintendo. Instead of actually saying words, they just have people speaking gibberish with subtitles.
Perfect.
And the only negative that I have is it starts out so terribly sad.
That's not a negative. That's supposed to fuel you to get through the game.
Right. So
So
Starting
I played
off like
that
a
first
classic-
5 minutes.
right.
Go, Chuck.
Sorry to cut you off, Risky. Oh my god, that kicked you straight in the feels,
It
doesn't it?
does. It's almost
Oh,
as bad
twice.
as Last of Us. It's like right up there with it. So, I've got I don't know, I think I've got 4 or 5 of the abilities. It looks like there's maybe 10 or 12 of them that you can get. And I've got my air dash, my double jump, my dash. I don't know. I've got, about half the wheel unlocked already. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I beat a couple of the boss fights so far. And I've got my, what is it called? The charge orb. I think that's the last step that I reached was getting a charge orb, which is very useful to blow up doors as well as stun enemies, do all sorts of things. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will definitely continue playing with it when I get back.
Are you getting just from what you talked about? I played it when it first came out a little bit, but are you getting like Hollow Knight vibes at all as far as like a Metroidvania
Absolutely.
feel? Okay.
So much Hollow
Awesome.
Knight feels. Yeah, it's like
I
Hollow
gotta
Knight's
play it.
brother. Yeah. Hollow Knight with
it sounds
feelings,
so good.
basically, because Hollow Knight, you don't care about the characters at all.
Nope. I just want to murder everything.
Exactly. This one, it's got a story behind it, and trying to figure out what's going on with this forest and why everything's so dark is, everything unfolds in front of you, and the more you unlock, the more it grabs you. As not being a story guy, I'm having a great time with it.
Good deal. Definitely excited to play more of that. And like I said, next week is our Game Pass Roulette episode. So get in on the conversation about that game. Join us in Discord. We got a whole Game Pass Roulette channel over there.
Yep.
You can
I
give us your comments, thoughts, that kind of stuff.
I can pretty much say if you give it a shot, you're going to like it. Even I was playing it the other night, and I was on a party with Ladonian, and we couldn't figure out something to play co-op because all he has is Dauntless on his computer.
And that's all he plays is Dauntless?
He's like, what do you want to play? I was like, well, let's play Destiny. Oh, don't have it. Okay, well, let's play this. Oh, no, don't have it. Oh, don't have that downloaded. I was like, okay, well, you play Dauntless, and I'm going to play Ori. So he loaded it up, and he got... He got Ori loaded up, and he got like super frustrated. He's like, "Yep, I'm done with this game. I'm done." And then I was messaging him the other night, and he said that he was playing again. I was like, "Oh, I see you're playing Ori again. So you're not done with it?" He's like, "No, this game's pretty good." So
Good.
I think if you try it and you get the mechanics down, it's not an easy platformer, but it's not Hollow Knight, so it's not Dark Souls 2D. So I think give it an hour or two of your time, and it'll be worth it.
It does look quite nice though.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I was watching Choco on Mixer first, so
Mm-hmm.
it does look quite nice.
It's beautiful, and the sound in it is amazing too.
So I was going to say, I feel like it won some awards for its soundtrack.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's like
I'm sure the
whimsical
music's-
music. It's great. I can't say enough good things about it.
good. Can't wait to have another talk about it next week after I've played it. And Chocolate's played it. And whoever else
And
is gonna be on
hopefully
the
other
podcast
people
has
in the
played it.
community have played it too and contribute.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'll have a shot this week.
All right, good. All right. Well, I think that's mostly. Oh, okay. I did want to talk. This is starting to sound like a tech review podcast, but I did want to talk about one more piece of Nintendo Switch tech that I picked up this past week, and that was the HomeSpot Bluetooth adapter. As many of you know, the Switch doesn't have Bluetooth because why not? What a horrible thing to leave out. But HomeSpot makes a Bluetooth adapter that it's super flush with your Switch. I want to say like it doesn't stick out a lot. And if you have the like I use the Satisfy case and it fits perfectly like with the legs, so it doesn't feel like it's protruding like at all. It just goes right into the USB-C like charging port, and then you can pair actually 2 sets of headsets as well. So if you're playing with multiple people, there's a Bluetooth channel for each.
Oh, wow.
So you
That's
can do
cool.
it. But what was awesome about this is I was gone this past weekend. Like I said, I was going up to Vermont, which is like a 5-hour drive, and I was riding shotgun, and the Meg's just listening to this terrible mix of Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift and all those horrible things that I don't like to listen to. And
Can I get that playlist, please?
yeah, of course. Why not? So what I was able to do is just take out my Bluetooth headset, put it in one ear, and just kind of sit there and play it. Just having Bluetooth on the Switch is great, and I definitely recommend this one. The only reason I picked it up is because I got a notification that there was lightning deals going on Amazon, and this was one of them. And it was something I'd seen in someone else's video about like best tech for the Switch, so I gave it a shot. The only thing I will say that isn't great about it is that there's no pass-through charging. So if this is plugged in, if the Bluetooth adapter is plugged in, you can't charge your Switch, which kind of sucks. But Genki, I think that's another company. They also make one that does have pass-through, but it's like way more bulky, and I just dislike it. But if you're looking for a good Bluetooth adapter, so you can actually use I know a couple people in the community just got the SteelSeries 9Xs, right?
I want.
Is that you, Chocolate?
Yep, I'm one of those people.
So you'd be able to just pair those to your Switch if you have this, and I think I got it for like $33. It's normally $40. So I mean, it's a little expensive, but having Bluetooth just, what a better experience.
Right. And not having that cord from the headphones going either across your screen or having to wrap it underneath and then pulling them out of your ears. And trust
Just
me, I
everywhere
struggle all the
inconvenient.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a well worth the investment for sure.
Definitely a pain. I've played a few times recently with my wife asleep and sticking the headphones in and having that wire, as you say. Even if you wrap it,
Right.
even if you do a good job of wrapping it's the thought of it still there, or putting some cheap, crappy earbuds in, just does not feel right at all.
Yeah, especially with games that actually have good sound, and you want to hear the good sound, and you're not just listening to it come out of your Switch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that Bluetooth adapter is made by HomeSpot, and you can find it on Amazon. It's a good one. All right, well, I guess that's it. Nobody else has anything to talk about, right? Anything you may have missed?
It was a busy week. Not a whole lot of time for games.
Agreed.
Katana Zero's done though.
Oh, good for you,
I
Chocolate.
forgot.
How was that boss fight at the end?
Yeah.
Do you know I had to YouTube the boss fight because I was getting
What was there to
Boo.
YouTube? You just have to get the timing down and the patterns.
Well, I got all the way up to where the floor blew up,
Right.
and as you know, as spoiler alert, once that floor blows up, you then drop down, and for some reason I couldn't time jumping and obviously slowing down time, jumping over the destruction. So I kept dying, and I was getting so frustrated, and I literally only beat it a day ago, maybe 2 days ago. So this was around 11 my time, maybe almost midnight. So I had to look to see how close I was getting, what mistakes I was making. Watched the video, did that part, did the next boss fight, done. I was like, yep, off to bed I am.
Well, I was proud of you before you told me you cheated, but I guess that's still good.
Congrats on rolling
it's-
credits.
I did a similar thing,
Thank
but instead of looking it up at 11 o'clock, I just went to bed and then got up the next day, and it was with a fresh mind and good eyes, it's much easier.
Yeah, well, I was heading to work.
Oh.
So I finished a shift at 10 p.m. and I was heading back into work at 6 a.m.
That's crazy. Well, you
Yeah,
work
so I need a little
3
up.
shifts, right? 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2. My manager completely
Yeah, he's
shot me in the foot.
like,
To give me a Saturday morning, a Saturday off, I had to do this stupid shift. I'm okay with working Saturdays, you silly, silly person. But never mind.
Silly person. I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted to call him.
Yeah, or throw at them.
Chocolate, did you happen to sit through the credits, or any of the credits?
Yep, sat through the credits. And
Okay.
So did all that, and then that same YouTube video I watched showed that there was not an alternate ending, I suppose is the wrong word, but you can go back in there and unlock, I think, 5 or 7 extra abilities or cosmetics. So there was one with your sword, and it would be like a rainbow glow as you swooshed it and killed people and things like that. So I'm half tempted to go through and do that. I'm also half tempted to not bother, because I think there's no replayability in just collecting those 5 items.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
not gonna
gamer
get
score.
much out of it. Well, there is that as well.
I would just wait for Katana 1. Why
Yeah, that's the
started
thing,
with 0.
Or
What do you say, if the new game comes out, what do you put it as? Katana 01? Because
Yeah, I don't know. Katana, maybe just Katana 1. Yeah,
Yeah,
bad
who knows?
naming conventions. Yeah, that game's ripe for a sequel, so I think we'll definitely see that down the line.
Loved it though.
Yeah, great game. And one that we actually all knocked off of our list. So clearly we all like it. So whoever has a Switch, go out and buy it. That it's so good.
It is.
All right, that's going to do it for what we've been playing this week. So next up is going to be the news. All right, Chocolate, what is in the headlines this week?
So Epic covering Steam refunds.
This is a fun one, just that headline. It's like, Epic is going to pay for Steam's refund. Oh, I wrote Stream, sorry. Steam, yep.
I did say Steam.
He did.
though.
He got
You
it.
did say it. You caught it. That was good.
Boom.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I just didn't read it properly.
Sometimes your inability to read helps us all out.
Oh
alright.
yeah.
To catch everybody up, Shenmue 3 was kickstarted a while back, and it was supposed to be launching on Steam, but it ended up becoming an Epic exclusive for a year, and then obviously people are mad, and they now want refunds. Because, I mean, you back this project on Kickstarter, they tell you you're going to be able to play it on Steam, you're going to get a Steam key, and this is going to be your place to play it. And if your ecosystem and where you play your games is a big deal, it's kind of yep, you kind of get blindsided by something like this. So Epic bought the exclusive rights for Shenmue 3, and now people want refunds. So Epic, the Epic Game Store, and Epic as a company is now going to cover those refunds. This is a tweet from Tim Sweeney, who is Epic's CEO. Epic is funding the cost of all Kickstarter refunds resulting from Shenmue 3's, I don't like the name of this game at all, move to the Epic
Reminds me
Game
of
Store.
Shamu.
Shamu. Shamu 3. It'll be Shamu 3 from now on.
Escape from SeaWorld.
Yes. And there's doing that so the refunds won't reduce EaseNet's development funding. So I just kind of thought it was a cool story because Epic kind of got out in front of this and is offering to give people their money back if the reason they no longer want it is because it's going to be an Epic exclusive for a year. They're flipping the bill for those refunds so that the developer of the game is not having to deal with all of that. He also went on to say that this wouldn't happen in the future and that they'd coordinate with their colleagues and other stores just so this whole snafu doesn't happen again. But yeah, Epic paying for those refunds. Real weird.
So yeah, there's two things that don't quite add up to me about this, because usually when you back Kickstarter, you get whatever you're doing for a way discounted price to what it's going to be MSRP. So, and then also it's just a launcher. Who cares? Like, is there people that
Apparently
loyal
a
to
lot of
Steam
people care.
that like who cares? It's literally an icon on your screen. So I don't understand the big deal. I don't know why people are having an alliance to Steam, especially because Epic's doing this in order to get Steam to drop their prices or drop the amount that they take from each developer. So
Right.
I don't understand.
I mean, it's definitely a good,
loyalty to Steam.
yeah, it's a good PR move for Epic, for sure. But I think it's more than just that. They made $3-point-something billion last year covering the
Right.
5% of people who want refunds for this. Is that's pocket change for them. They make millions of dollars each day just from Fortnite. So
they're definitely taking a big, huge swing. I mean, they took shots months back, but they are still throwing those punches. And I think I can't think who it was, someone else in the game industry tweeted to say that what Epic are doing to try and give developers a bigger slice of what they, I think he used the word should be entitled to, is commendable. He also put, I am not siding with Epic, I am just saying what they're doing in that good split. I can't remember what the split was. Aren't they taking only...
They're taking like less than 15%.
10% or 12%.
Yeah, and Epic or Steam's
Epic's
taking like 30.
And yeah, it's 12% versus 30, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so, he was commending what the ethos behind Epic. However, he wasn't siding with them. I really don't know. At some point, Steam has got to change what they're doing. I don't think their consumer base is going to change. I think they're always going to revolt. Yeah, that is the right word. Revolt against Epic and this new browser. God forbid I stick something else on my desktop. Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
And that's the other point is it's a Kickstarter, so they only paid probably $20 to get a $40 game or whatever it's going to be. So if you really want that $20 back, go right ahead and wait a year and pay full price for it.
If you wait a year, you can get it on Steam for full price.
Yeah, it makes
perfect.
If you're really that spiteful and petty, then spend more money. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm on the same boat. I agree. Yeah, that's it for that one, though.
All right, I'll kick off with the next one then. Gears of War 5.
Yeah, this probably could have been stuck in PSAs. It's not huge news, but they are going to have their tech test for Gears 5 July 19th. You can get into that by either being subbed to Game Pass, since you'll get the game free if you're subbed to that, or just by pre-ordering. Both those ways will get you into their technical test. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be in the technical test. I probably could have looked that up. Is that just going to be some horde mode and maybe their new survival?
Yeah, I assume it's just multiplayer functions.
Yeah, it's the new survival thing, and I think it's 3 things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's definitely the new
their new mode.
Their new mode, yeah. They've also said, obviously, as this is a tech demo, expect queuing times, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
As with anything, so
cool.
Should be good.
The 3 of us are in Game Pass, so maybe we can try to get in on that. Well, Moose, you'll be gone, but
yeah, unfortunately,
Chocolate, maybe we can take a look, report back to everybody.
Yeah,
on how the tech test went. Sweet.
Definitely. Sounds good.
Okay, here I got it right here.
Right, let's murder this.
It's got no campaign or escape, but it does have, it looks like the 3-player Left 4 Dead style cooperative mode. Oh no, it doesn't contain any of those. It's just the multiplayer and the horde mode, I believe.
Oh, so they don't have the gas.
Oh, great. The only thing I wanted.
All right.
So multiplayer and horde then.
Yeah, basically. Just multiplayer and horde. I don't think that they're going to have it ready, which, the game's supposed to be out in a month or so beyond that, so they better get it moving.
Pull their finger
out. Yep. Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on. Right. TechoCon?
TennoCon. You're close.
Close.
Do you know what a Tenno is?
Over here, it's a £10 note. I don't know what it is over there.
Oh, that's kind of funny. So Tennos are the people that control Warframes in the game Warframe. If you weren't familiar. This is our last news story, and clearly news wasn't that heavy, but I saw that TennoCon was going on this past weekend. That's Warframe's annual fan conference. It's where they announce kind of what the roadmap's going to be for the upcoming year. And I wouldn't have normally put this into the news, except for some of the stuff that they're adding here. It seems crazy for a free-to-play game, and how just this game came out in 2013, so this is their 6th year now, and it's probably one of the best this type of loot and shoot model there is to date. Like, I think it even puts Destiny, because it's free to play, which maybe Destiny going free to play will help this, but it's one of the best. So if you haven't checked it out, here's even more reasons to do it. First of all, they added a new 6-minute CGI intro to the game. It pretty much just shows off the 3 basic warframes. I think it's Volt, Mag, and there's one more. I haven't played it in so long I don't remember. But it actually goes through a little animated cutscene where it shows the 3 of them and kind of how they play. And it just gives you background on the whole universe. It's an awesome little 6-minute thing, and from now on, especially for new players, I think it'll be a real good intro, because before you were just kind of thrown in, you're like, I don't know why I would pick which one of these warframes, which are like the suits that you wear,
Right.
to play. Like, why pick one over the other? Well, I don't know. So that was a good addition. They also announced Nightwave Series 2. This is their battle pass, which is completely free. It works kind of like every other battle pass, where you do your dailies, do your weeklies, and you unlock cosmetics, that kind of stuff. But you don't have to pay for it. Like, pretty much, I feel like you don't have to pay for anything in this game unless you really want to.
You
like
can,
some of
though.
Yeah, I'm sure if you bought everything in the game, you'd be poor.
Because the way
But-
you build your warframe by leveling up, basically, and acquiring pieces and parts, or you can just buy pre-made ones, correct?
Yeah, so it's like each one of the warframes, you can either buy them, or like you said, you scavenge for the parts, and I'm assuming some parts are way rarer
Right.
than others to get some of the best ones. They did announce another warframe that's coming out sometime this year, but I didn't mark that down. They also had a trailer for The New War, which is their next story arc. That's coming in Christmas, so it sounds like you've kind of been stalled out at the same point in their story. So this should be pushing that all forward. But the biggest thing here was the reveal of their Empyrean update. What this is it's adding essentially ship combat, but ship combat that you need a whole... Well, I'm assuming you can play with NPCs, but if you want, you can be playing with 3 other players. One person can be on the guns of your ship. One person can be flying. One person can be going down to the ground to scavenge for resources, that kind of thing. You now have a ship. It used to be you'd go to a map screen, pick where you want to go, and hit it. Now you have an actual ship. It's called a Railjack, which they're really good at naming things. I think Railjacks for the name of a ship. Sweet. I like it. But you can customize the cosmetics here. You can customize things like the weapons, the armor, and this is all going to be things that you're farming in game, getting from drops, probably crafting as well. But yeah, so they went through maybe like 25 minutes of actual gameplay of the Railjacks, and what happened midway through this is they got a alert that was kind of like, hey, this dude showed up, let's go fight him. So you head towards him. As they're fighting these people, one of the Tennos on the ship, or one of the warframes, hopped out of the ship. So he's like floating in space now with his little spacesuit. He flies into one of the ships they're fighting and gets on board. So he's now on board this ship. There's enemies on this ship. He kills all of them, and then eventually takes control of this other ship. So he's now hijacked an enemy ship and is now using that to attack even more ships. And then he also had the option to just go down to like where the engine was and just destroy it. So you can hop onto these other enemy ships, blow them up from the inside out, and then just go back to your ship. And this is all kind of out in their big open like universe. This is the space that's up in the air above all of their planets that are already there for you. So it's not really adding a new play area except for space itself. There's not like new planets or anything like that. The next kind of thing that they're adding with this is called the Kingpin system. It reminds me of the Nemesis system from the Middle Earth games.
New on Game Pass or Games with Gold this month.
which that's such a good game. Definitely.
Yeah, what is
I'll
it?
play
Shadow
that
of
one.
War or Shadow of Mordor? I can't remember. I think it's Shadow of Mordor. Game of the
Yeah,
year.
I mean they were both really good.
Right.
So. But what this system does now, you're going to get this nemesis, and as you kill them with your Warframe powers, your nemesis is going to slowly get shaped like you. Like they're going to, if you're using all electrical attacks, when you finally have to battle them again and again, they're going to have electrical attacks, or they might be like tech focused if you were tech focused, that kind of thing. So if you had fought them multiple times with different Warframes, you're kind of going to have this like weird Frankenstein nemesis that's just trying to hunt you down forever to kill you. So in the demo, it was kind of like, oh, there's my nemesis. He's on board this ship. Let's go fight him. They fight through his whole fleet, and then they get to like the main ship. They can't board the main ship, though, because there's some type of weird deflector shield on it. And that's where they've now introduced this thing called Squad Link. Squad Link, the way they showed it, you call out like as a distress beacon to someone who's down on the planet below you, and they have to blow up essentially a generator that was on the ground, preventing you from being able to board this ship or anything like that. It kind of reminds me, well, it reminded me because the dude yelled it, but the guy going through this whole presentation was like, it's the mother effing moon of Endor, like when they had to take down that shield so they could fight the Death Star. So yeah, you're calling in random groups that might, or that are already going to be on the planet doing other things, and it'll be like an optional quest that they can open up, and then they can go take down the generator so it takes down the force field. It just seems like a really great way to get even more people in on the action.
Just real quick, we're counting on the generosity and good-heartedness of the internet to help us out with these quests.
Yeah, so it sounds like the rewards for going to help people out are
make
pretty
it worth it.
substantial.
Okay.
Yeah. And like they were saying, it's completely optional as well. Like they obviously don't have to help you, and if nobody chooses to help you, it's going to be harder for you to actually infiltrate, but you are going to be able to do those things without the aid of other players. So it's not like you're going to be stuck at a wall waiting for somebody to click accept
like
on
a matchmaking
your
type
invite.
screen.
Right. So I don't know, the whole ship combat thing, like that game was already massive and had so many things to do, so many things to collect, so many things to go after. Now they're adding new ships with ship parts, and when you first go onto the ship, they're humongous too. Like, and you have your whole team running around them. Somebody's on turrets, somebody's driving, and then just being able to like jet over to another ship, board it, take it out, or hijack it yourself. Like, and then your ship can also be boarded, and it's just a whole new layer to Warframe, and it just continually blows my mind how this game's free to play. It's maybe 40 minutes of content total that I watched on this today, and all of it was kind of just like, wow, like you guys have come so far. A 6-year journey that's culminating to this, and it's not even the end, because the final tease of their show was a tease of their next open world area, which is going to be called the Deviri Paradox, and they're going to be introducing a new enemy type. It was like a dude on horseback, reminding me a lot of the Ring Wraiths from Lord of the Rings. Real weird stuff, but that's in development now, so like that's also coming.
And this is all available on the Switch as well? Switch doesn't get a light version of Warframe?
It's not all, and it's the same thing with PC and console. It comes to PC first, then it comes to Xbox, PlayStation, and then eventually it comes to Switch.
Once
I know
they
Switch
figure out how to do the magic to get it on that tiny little screen.
Exactly. So yeah, Switch is definitely last on the list for them, but essentially it's all supposed to be there. But like the Battle Pass thing, they said that was launching this past weekend, and that was going to be there for all consoles, so you're not going to miss out on like exclusive seasonal cosmetics or something because you're on the Switch.
Okay. You
just might miss out on, well, not miss out, but just have to wait a little bit longer.
Is
for
it
some of the
cross save? So can you like upload your accounts from, say your PlayStation or your Xbox and then play it on the Switch?
I have to imagine. It's weird though, because I definitely did start playing it on Switch.
Right. I know you and Lou were playing it, right?
Yeah, but I had been playing on an Xbox, but I feel like I had to start over. maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. That'd be a real big miss,
Right?
if you couldn't. But
I'm looking for
Yeah,
a plain game, and I'm wondering, do you have to have a constant internet connection to play Warframe? Because this may be something that I could lose myself in for a couple hours at least.
I'm almost positive
You do?
you need internet connection the
Yeah.
whole time. Yep, literally with everything you do.
And not the
So-
fake airplane internet that just lets you stream stuff from their services.
Yeah, the stuff that's just downloaded on their
Right.
hard drives inside of the ship, or ship.
Going to the
Plane.
moon.
We're going to the moon. Oh, that's actually real weird. I didn't include this there, but they announced the contest from now until December 31st that as long as you play Warframe between now and December 31st, you can win a chance to go into space.
What?
No way.
Yeah, and it's the more you play, like, so if you play every consecutive day, it's like your chances are greater in that.
What the?
But yeah, they're sending somebody to space.
Oh, sorry about that. It's storming here.
That sounded like a spaceship taking off, so that was kind of perfect,
Yeah.
actually.
I was about to say,
well.
Chocolate, think of how much Switch time you could get in space.
Yes.
So I can't do roller coasters. How on earth am I going to do G-force? God knows
And
what.
we'll just strap a
going
barf
up in the
bag
air?
to your face. You'll be fine.
Yeah, just what I want. It going back in my face when I
Hey,
hit
as long as it doesn't
0
get on
G,
anybody
yeah.
else, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Or the food.
100%. So yeah, like I said, it's not a ton of stuff to consume really. If you have any interest in Warframe or have played or used to play and are thinking about coming back to it, check some of this stuff out. It seems like from the last time I played, which wasn't even that long ago, it was earlier this year, the whole ship thing with the Railjacks sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome. So maybe I'll come back for that. There's no release dates on anything besides just later this year for the Empyrean update and for the new war story content. So there's that. There's your Warframe 10 minutes for this week.
And that's a co-op game that you can play pretty much everything with friends that you can play solo, correct?
Yeah, I think it seemed like I remember getting into spots where I felt like I needed
Right,
people.
yeah.
But you can queue with randoms, so for everything in the game. So
It's basically Destiny for free until Destiny becomes free.
it's free Destiny with like
You're a ninja,
some
though.
of the best movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ninja movement is just it's so
Like,
good.
you can pick to either be a shooter or you can be hand-to-hand and make it a hack-and-slash type game. It's really whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and there's so many Warframes at this point to choose from that just trying to figure out which one you should pick is
Yeah, just watch
a
YouTube.
task in itself. There's so much to this game, and it's free, which that's the craziest part. You can get through all of this content and enjoy yourself without spending a dime, which I haven't, and I definitely had put a lot of time into it.
It's got to be hundreds of hours at this
beforehand.
point, right?
It feels like it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. Check it out. Like I said, it's not too tough to consume a half hour worth of this stuff if you're interested in Warframe.
Or the moon.
Or if you're interested in the moon, you need to start playing Warframe on a daily basis. Good luck, Chocolate.
No.
It's on the Switch,
Um,
Bear.
It is.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I can't.
All right, that's fine. You
Fair
got to get
enough.
through
Guess you'll have to buy your own ticket to the moon.
Extermination.
Force.
Yeah. Those were all the stories I had, though. Like I was talking to Moose earlier, it's like we're in this weird time frame
Summertime.
of like,
All the gamers are
summertime.
even outside, so
yeah. This is the tannest I've ever been. I don't know what's happening.
I know.
Yeah, I got completely sunburnt in Scottish weather, so
And look at
Yeah.
yeah.
even the Scots are outside turning into lobsters. So
They do sell
not gonna be any
sunscreen
news.
up there, right? For the 2 or 3 days that you may need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kate?
It's called
Yeah.
Iron Brew.
Iron
No,
Brew.
I don't like Iron Brew.
That's just
that a
like
big
malt
deal?
liquor, right?
It's just like fizzy juice, pretty much is what we would.
Fizzy
do.
juice.
Fizzy juice.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
pop,
but
isn't it?
I saw Kate had a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 last weekend, so there's got to be
Yeah,
something
which-
involved with that.
I didn't ended up not liking it.
Yeah.
And my friend took it with him.
Mad
so
Dog is
it's like,
terrible.
okay.
I think the last time I drank it was I was like maybe 17, 18, and throwing it up off my back on one of my friend's living room floors. It's not a
Yes.
it's not a fun beverage.
Oh,
It's fantastic. Yeah. Well, hey, unless anybody's got any news stories to add, we can move on to games coming out this week and some other stuff. Moose.
Yeah, let's move on. So coming out this week, there's a game called Soul Seraph that comes out today as the podcast drops. It looks like a platformer. It's on all platforms, so pick your poison. This may be one I pick up to play on the plane on the Switch. It looks pretty good. Castlevania type platformer. So that's coming out. Check out Dr. Mario World on Android and iOS. Basically, it's just your run-of-the-mill Dr. Mario, I believe, and you can just play it on
Yep.
your phones. So, yay Nintendo, more mobile games. And then I'm excited for this. Can't wait to get back and get this loaded up. Blazing Chrome, I believe it was inspired from some guys that really loved Contra. So it's a sequel or an inspiration from Contra, and it looks amazing. So Chocolate picked this game for the next Game Pass roulette.
Easy enough.
And then Risky, I don't know if you're getting this when it comes out on, was it Thursday? But Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming out on the Switch and PS4 on the 12th.
Yeah, buddy, I'll be there. That's also Friday. I think you're a day ahead in all your.
I
or day behind
apologize.
in all your things. You're good.
You're right, because Wednesday's the 10th. That would make sense.
Yep.
And then we've got, so Dragon Builders is just your, Risky talked about it last week a little bit. It's a linear builder type game, and it's got some hack and slash abilities or parts to it as well. So if you're into building things as well as Dragon Quest, this one's for you. You say anything else about it, Risky?
No, that's
Pretty much it.
It's Minecraft with quests and combat. It's good.
So did any of you guys play any of the God Eater games? I didn't, so I'm not familiar with
Nope.
it. But
Yeah.
God Eater 3 is being ported to the Switch. It comes out on Friday as well. And it's, I don't know much about that game. I assume it's a boss fight type game just from the name, God Eater. It makes me think of giant monsters that you got to fight. So
Sounds fair.
yeah, and then we've got Lethal League Blaze coming out on the Switch also on Friday, and it's a fighting game. There's some buzz about it on the internet. I'm not a fighting game type person, but I guess some people are really looking forward to this one. And then we got some new games coming to Game Pass. Day and date, Blazing Chrome's coming out same day as release, so that'll be free for anybody that has Game Pass, as well as Dead Rising 4 is coming out. Lego City Undercover, Time Spinner, which is that game from Chucklefish that is a platformer as well.
I'll definitely play some of that. I think that game looks really good.
I just feel weird playing platformers on my Xbox, even though I'm loving Ori. I just feel like that's a place for the Switch. And then
Yeah, this is free though.
I know. And then Unavowed as well. It's going to be on Game Pass. So there were some games leaving Game Pass. The one that stuck out in my mind because I didn't list them here was Warhammer Vermintide 2 is leaving. So
Oh man.
yeah, it's a good game. I didn't play enough of it, but if you got to get that fix out or get it purchased before it leaves Game Pass, because I believe you get a discount on it. So, and then I've got one addendum to PlayStation Plus's free games. They switched it right after we dropped the podcast last week. Pro Evo Soccer has been replaced with Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
So I have that
That's a
on
good,
my PlayStation,
good switch.
but I have not played it yet because it's the Telltale type adventure games. I don't know. What do you call those, Risky?
Yeah, walking simulators.
Yeah.
That game is so good though, and what a good switch from terrible soccer game to Detroit Become Human. I'm all
Right,
about
and
it.
you can play multiple characters to figure out what the storyline is. That's how Detroit
yeah,
is,
you
right?
get you have to play as yeah, yep.
And the androids are taking over or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Just play through it if you have any interest
Okay.
in Android games. It's so good.
Also play Dr. Mario World
Yeah,
if you're
that
into
too.
Android games or iOS games.
Yep.
I think that's it for new games and bad jokes.
You might have cut out, so I didn't hear your joke. Sorry.
Oh, I said
Still love you.
play Dr. Mario World if you're into Android games also and iOS.
Yeah, no, I did hear the whole thing. That was a bad joke. You're right.
Yep, it's just a bad joke.
Good try.
Still an Android game.
All right. Good work, everybody. We made it through another podcast. Let's plug this thing up. Head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com to find links to literally everything we do. Join us on Discord. It's the best place to be. It's where everybody is. Win yourself a chance to pick our community plays like Kate did. Good work, Kate.
Yeah, thanks.
If you'd like to support the show with your hard-earned money, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Each week we shout out our top tier contributors, and for the 8,000th month in a row, Chaotic. That's still you, buddy.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Whoop whoop.
And shout out to Chestar too for winning himself something nice. If you want to do that,
Something nice for me.
patreon.com/CAG podcast. Good night
I was gonna
for
say,
you.
can't
Yes.
can't his spouse legally claim his prize?
I believe so. Yeah.
I've stayed with him long enough to do so, yes.
You've earned it, Kate.
All right. So Kate, I'll send that to you right after the podcast. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's about it. If you want to reach me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate,
Chocolate Bear 80 everywhere.
Moose,
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
and Kate. If people want to get a hold of you, where can they find you? Or maybe you don't want them to find you.
Super Kate Tricks pretty much everywhere.
All right. That's going to do it for this week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Well, my first job was at an orange juice factory, but I got canned. Couldn't concentrate.
Oh, that joke was like good, and then it was elevated
On
to
levels.
another level.
Yeah. Levels and levels. Credit goes to my wife again. She just texts me these terrible jokes during the week.
She's very good, so she is.
Yes, she is.
Oh.
I was waiting for chocolate.
He sounds like...
Right. Oh, God. Right. I think I've used this one before, but sod it. This graveyard looks overcrowded. People must be dying to get in.
Oh, jeez. That's like a ventriloquist joke
You're
I
right.
know, it was awful.
that the dummy says.
And then he pauses, looks at
Yeah. Exactly.
I've got one.
you. Ooh.
So, why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
Why did he turn down the job
Oh,
offer?
He
I could ruin this one.
he couldn't
go
see
on.
himself doing it.
Oh, if I could have ruined it, I would have. To whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Yep, that was pretty bad. Sorry.
It was. I've got another one. This is pretty poor. If you want it. My uncle's named his dogs Rolex and Timex. They're his watchdogs.
Oh God.
Yikes.
I don't know which one was worse. Those last two are both pretty bad, so good work to us, huh?